today, feeling like I'm finally swimming through on the other side of that breakthrough that came through. And I don't think I've ever shared anything so personal, so publicly before in my life. And I know I have a small little channel here, but at the same time, there was a lot of movement that happened for me in sharing all that we've shared in the last week. So thank you for rolling with me. Thank you for journeying with me. Thank you for being on this wild ride. And I hope it is serving you in the deepest, deepest, deepest wells of your own heart, so that we can rise together in our own way, in our own time, really being able to support one another through this shift. So I've brought my malas with me today. Last night, Green Tara was with me all through my dreams. And so I woke up and connected with her today and really feeling her presence close to me. So I actually wanted to start our transmission. We'll start with the prayer, but also doing a round of 108 mantras with Untitled Chapter Soha. This is a mantra that brings in a closeness, a prayer for Green Tara to bring her presence into your world. It has been wildly beneficial to me in the last year or so, and I have gotten a little bit far away from that practice of connecting with her as well as Kuan Yin through the mantras, as they come rather easily to me. But in some cases, I find that when I'm resisting one of the Ascended Masters, when I know that they're near me, or they have messages for me, or they have something that's coming through, or something that's coming in that wants to be communicated, and I'm feeling that resistance within me because for whatever reason, oftentimes it's that the ego doesn't want to shift, or the ego doesn't want to change. But ultimately, using these mantras really help to bring in that connection and just transmutes all resistance, to really let them come into my world and let them come into my heart to help me remove the obstacles, sometimes that I'm even perpetuating and creating in my own head. But allowing their guidance and allowing their role of service by their own bodhisattva vows, or however you see it, the activation of the Sophia Code has been one of the most powerfully influencing books for me. And so through those connections is really how I learned to connect with these Ascended Masters in a much, much, much deeper way, as mentors that can walk through this life and hold our hands, rather than as somebody or a being that requires devotion and all of that. By inviting them in and connecting with them in this way, there is a mutual devotion that takes place, and in that mutual devotion, there is a service of acceleration and ascension for all parties involved. So that's my 2 cents on that. That's why I like to use some of these mantras. I am very picky about mantras. I can be very analytical with the entities that are outside of us, or the beings that I choose to connect in with and channel. If I am not familiar with them, I tend to not really lean in so close. But this is one that, like I said, I have, when she shows up in my dreams as powerfully as she did last night, I wanted to share that. So we'll go ahead and do these, and I keep trying to make sure that my hair isn't, let's just do this. We're going to clip it to my hair. Want to make sure you can hear me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this round. You can do it with me if you have a mala. If not, just say it with me. I'm going to be counting each one of these beads, is what helps us keep track of that. So let's go ahead and take a nice big deep breath in, anchoring root chakra all the way down to the center of the planet. And as we call in divine truth and love into this sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with the chant. Tare Tuttare Tore Soha, 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 Untari 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 Tuttare Tore Soha. And simply taking a moment to settle with the sensation of this mantra. Speak closely to your own heart space as you feel into the spaciousness between words, the activation of that internal pure divine alignment, the connection into your soul radiance, the connection into your soul resonance. If it feels right to you, you're welcome to invite Grintara in by placing your palms face up. And you can simply ask for guidance, you can ask for a healing, you can simply ask for a connection, an introduction, if this is one of the first times that you've been able to connect with her. Her heart is open to you. There are many different emanations of green Tara, of Tara. Is actually a resonance here for me as well as when I was shown or given the name Sitara when I started speaking light language. I did a lot of research to connect in with what does Sitara mean. And the root of Tara, there's a very, very deep connection to the ancient lineage of this planet. And so there's a really deep rooting just by that syllable, the sound of the syllable tar, that really connects our own awareness, our own genetic encoding on a very subconscious level into the frequency of the deepest, most ancient components of our planet. And so when we're connected, and that's the power of sound, that's the power of syllables, that's the power of words. We've gotten so far away from connecting with what the power of resonance and sound resonance really does for us in this world, and knowing that the different tones that we hear and the different frequencies that we connect in with, it's so powerful when we really start feeling into this. And so I'll share a quick story actually that really helped me to understand and see this. So as you've been able to see, I have a video that's Activate Your Magnetic Essence, I think, where I really talk about the shift for me in shifting my name from Samantha to Sitara. And I had a lot of hesitance around it. I, sat on it for 10 months. Was like, there's no way I'm gonna go and like change my name from, one of these things. I had a whole story around it. And something really clicked for me a couple months ago. It was really funny, actually. I was playing basketball. I was on a basketball court, and I was playing basketball with a group of people that were at the gym. We're not all stars, but we were playing. And in this one moment, there were like, I had the ball, and there were 3 or 4 people that were calling my name. And it was very interesting because they all know me as Sitara. They don't know Samantha. And so as they were saying Sitara, it was really interesting because it was happening. It was like there was an echo, there was like a ringing happening from one person to one person to one person as they were calling for the ball. And what ended up happening was I ended up going into the home resonance. And I've been there before. There's certain things that I have found that activate that resonance for me in my own experience, but also activate it for other people. And sometimes it's a connection with another person who has been with source, who has consciously been, I say home, the home resonance, the space of our own origin, beyond the void, beyond the womb of no thing. There's so many different words for it. But in certain experiences, I have been feeling that more often, that connection to that home resonance. And so in the connection to Tara, green Tara, and hearing that and learning more about that root syllable tar, learning about some of ancient lineage of the planet that Earth came from. And this is from a new book that I'm reading that is really, it's activating memories inside of my body that I didn't know were possible. This goes way beyond Lemuria, way beyond Atlantis, way beyond the creation of this planet. It's like, where did Earth come from, right? You guys know that I love the question, not where do we go when we die, where did we come from? Well, where did Earth come from? And not just the creation of Earth. I don't really believe, and this might be getting really woo and out there, but these are just some theories that I like to play around with in my head, is that I don't really believe that Earth was the first planet. I don't really believe that Earth was the first planet to be built in the universe or to be created in the universe. And so when we go back beyond that, I have a book that my friend lent me, and in the book it says that Earth came as a chunk out of a planet called Tara, and on the planet called Tara there were other let's say technologies that were being explored through magnets and other type power. It sounded very similar to the fall of Atlantis, but there was like a cataclysm where Earth popped out of this other planet and then started dropping in frequency until it like stabilized into where we are now, which is why 3D is dense, which is why Earth is dense, which is why those of us who have that really, really intense feeling of homesickness and feel that this planet is hard or difficult or challenging or we don't fit in, I'm starting to recognize and realize it's because the frequencies that are here are much, much more dense than what we were used to in our energetic bodies or living on these other planets or living in these other dimensions, which, as you've heard me say, the access to the soul memories, the access to the connection inside, within, starts to open these experiences and open these memories. So I've been very surprised to be reading this book from my friend and feeling my body respond to it, and my body responding in like a really, really powerful way. So when we talk about the root syllable of Tara, or green Tara, and when we say Untitled Chapter Soha, we're activating this remembrance inside of our own body. Our cells are listening, so our DNA is responding. There's an activation that's taking place that is so pure in our alignment to the remembrance of why we're here, what our purpose is, and how much of a greater whole we are participating in, and what we are here to do. And I'm going to specifically say as light workers. So I want to define that word a little bit, because I had so much resistance to the word light workers before I really understood what it meant. I believe that light workers, another interchangeable term would be volunteers, that there are beings that come from all different places in the galaxy, all different places in the known and unknown universe, that have felt the resonance to Earth and felt a calling to come here into this world to help with the ascension of this planet. Because the chaos has gotten really intense, as we can see. The planet itself is very sick. The planet itself is highly polluted. The planet itself is dying in a lot of ways that a lot of people are turning a blind eye to. And so in order to bring the resonance from a frequency standpoint, it is important for us, light workers, as volunteers from these other places, to be able to come into this world, to be able to anchor the frequency, because our physical bodies are the conduits between realms. Your soul has a frequency. So when we have souls that come from higher realms, higher places of consciousness, and I talk about this in the baby fever videos, the conscious star seeds and baby fever, you can go tune into those. I talk about the slipstream, there we go, of the frequency that is available to us on this planet that keeps us safe and keeps us protected while we are anchoring these light frequencies and higher dimensional frequencies in this world that actually evoke the conscious acceleration and the conscious illumination from souls that are spinning in a cycle, a karmic cycle, and haven't really quite been able to get out of it. So when we come here and we have these challenging experiences in life and we start to remember, because we agree to the amnesia, but when we remember and we start just blasting this planet with forgiveness and blasting this world with compassion and blasting so much of our own heart-centered awareness, being like, oh my God, I remember where I came from. I remember why I'm here. And it's not so much to do with like, what are you doing to create a legacy on this planet? It has nothing to do with that. It's what are you doing to embody? What are you doing to embody your highest illumination in this world and on this planet? And so last night, Green Tara brought so much information to me, and I've connected with her before. I've done the 21 days of Green Tara through the Sophia Code, and it's been such a beautiful journey, and I'm thankful to have this opportunity to introduce that to you, especially if this is something that is new to you, is working with the Ascended Masters as mentors. Through the book, The Sophia Code, how she describes it is that each of these mentors activate a specific key code in our own DNA. So there's the Kuan Yin key codes, there's Mother Mary key codes, there's 8 different emanations, some of them including the Seraphim and which is it's a name for the creation, the dark womb of no thing, the creation of all that is, in however you want to resonate with it. But these key codes, they come to us and they mentor and they show us that we actually embody those exact same qualities. We actually have those exact same qualities. We know the magic, we know the alchemy, we know the connection, we know the forgiveness, we know the compassion, we know how to get out of our own way, we know how to say no, we know all these things. And so these ascended masters, they come to you and can work with you as mentors to activate those key codes inside of yourself so that you become the living, breathing embodiment of the ascended evolution that we are all here to share with each other. So that's why I get very passionate about all of this. And I don't think I've even shared this deeply with some of the stuff that I really get excited about learning about and stepping into, because there's so much here in this world that we don't know. There's so much here that we don't even know about our physical bodies. There's so much here that we don't even know, like scientifically, or that technology hasn't even begun to be able to catch up with what we're capable of in the quantum field. So keep exploring. Keep going into it. Keep evolving your own magical awareness. Keep evolving your own magical code, because there's so much here for each and every single one of us to keep unfolding and experiencing. I genuinely believe in my heart of hearts that we are here to embody and anchor heaven on earth. That the heaven on earth consciousness, some may call it the 5D, some may call it New Earth, some may call it, like, there's all these new age vocabulary terms that you can learn. But ultimately, like, it doesn't even matter what you call it. It's the sensation of home that is activated and embodied. And when a human being is activated in their home center, in their home space inside of their own heart, the ripple effect of those that they come in contact with, even by shaking hands, even by having these video connections, even by reading a post, like, it's felt. Feel into the space between the words, and in that space you will always know, because frequency never lies. Frequency never tricks. Frequency never manipulates. We are here to embody and experience ourselves in such a beautiful and great way that all is open for us, all is open for our heart, all opportunities of possibility are available to us. And so to get out of the pressure of these last couple of years where things have been really challenging and things have been really hard, we're really working through coming to the other side. So with that, my sweet love, I am going to go ahead and go through another round of these. The video is going to be a little bit long, but I'm going to go through another round to open and close. If you haven't already, please like this video, send a comment, let me know where you're tuning in from. I love to see that our community is growing more globally. It's very, very exciting for me to witness. So please do feel free to share that. And of course, the 7 weeks to embody your higher self course is still available for 2/22 if you're watching this live or before the end of November. Please do take advantage of that. Click in the link in the description below, and I'm telling you, just feel into it. Feel into it. Let your heart guide you into that one. It is a very powerful, life-changing course. It's one of those courses that once you take it, you can't unlearn what you've learned, and you have a much greater sense of the embodiment of how you are here to experience yourself in this world, and what the difference between self and the experience, even of the observer or of the participant that is here. There's many different facets to the world that we show up as. And so more and more and more of that embodiment of your higher self allows you to integrate all aspects so that you are the same person in front of your significant other as you are in front of your grandmother, as you are in front of your clients, as you are sitting at a table. I always pay attention to the way people treat wait staff. There's so much for us to see about ourselves. And when we anchor that higher self embodiment into the center, into the core of our being, it smooths out so many things. So many things. It really just cuts through, pierces through any of, so many mosquitoes in here today. Any of the shenanigans that we have been taught or programmed to believe, all of that. It just like warm knife through butter, just gets rid of it, moves it through, moves it out. So with that, my sweet love, let's go ahead. Yes, we're going to do one more round. Go ahead and just simply close your eyes and let yourself receive, or you can chant with me, whatever feels right for you. Okay. Taking a nice big deep breath, and if it feels right to you, go ahead and place your palms face up, calling in and evoking Green Tata to come into your world, to be there with you, show her, or to show you signs that she is there with you. Ia ataniki awa ua pu uku sa aka anaki ia waha aka pu anakai ia waha anaki ia wa asasa nakai ia wa ua pu uku unake ia waha aka tanake. Tatanaka ia ayaka nakai waha aka pu uku kunaki awa sa. All right, beautiful. Here we go. Untari tutari tore soha, 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 untari tutari tore soha. Untari tutari tore soha, 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 untari tutari tore. Just taking a moment to breathe and feeling the sensations that are moving through your body as you allow yourself to open to the blessings and rewards, insights, and guidance that are here.